Alright, what's up YouTube? This is BoxingWave. Just to let you guys know, this is not a prediction video. Okay, I'm not doing a prediction video because there's no way you can predict this fight. I have no idea who's going to win this fight. I'm going to just sit back, watch the fight, and just whatever, let it play out the way it's going to play out. I have no idea who's going to win this fight. Okay, I'm not going to do that here. Give you my thoughts on the fight, you know, and everything surrounding the fight. And I'm going to help you guys decide on who you're going to pick for the fight. But me, I have no idea who's going to win this fight. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you because you gamblers are watching these videos. I'm not doing that, all right? Now, first fight, very controversial, okay? First viewing, I thought Manny Pacquiao won the fight. I thought Pacquiao clearly won the fight, the first fight, okay? I thought Pacquiao was robbed. After watching it a second, third time, fourth time, what I realized is that the commentary was very, very bad. And I think the commentary might have influenced people and thinking that Pacquiao dominated the fight, okay? That Pacquiao was robbed. Regardless of who you think won the fight, I don't think there was a robbery. I thought the fight was that close, okay? The fight was very, very competitive. And it was just too close to call, okay? For one thing that I will say, though, is that Timothy Bradley finished the first fight strong. I think it was clear that Manny Pacquiao has slowed down. He gassed out a little bit. And Bradley finished the fight off strong. And that's part of the reason why I thought Bradley would win the second fight, the rematch, okay? In the rematch, I thought Bradley was going to go in with that momentum. He finished off strong in the first fight. I know he acquired some injuries, some ankle or leg injuries in that fight. So I figure, you know, a healthy Tim Bradley is going to beat Manny Pacquiao this time around. He's already experienced fighting him. He doesn't know if he doesn't get injured in the fight, he should be fine. And he should just know the blueprint of beating Pacquiao now that he's been in the ring with him. Okay, that didn't happen, all right? What we saw was Tim Bradley trying to load up on shots. He was really trying to knock Manny Pacquiao out because at that time, Pacquiao had already been knocked out by Juan Manuel Marquez. So I figure, you know, Tim Bradley was feeling himself a little too much. You know, he went in there throwing nothing but power shots. He's not known to be no big time puncher or anything like that. So he didn't go with the game plan of trying to outbox Manny Pacquiao. He went in there and tried to actually knock him out. And he actually was the one that got tired early in that fight. And I thought Manny Pacquiao clearly won the majority of 3/4 of the fight, okay? Let's just say that, all right? So Pacquiao wins the second fight, and that's that. Now, let's talk about everything that's surrounding the fight today in 2016. Timothy Bradley, okay, just vacated. Nope, well, he just got stripped of his WBO title at 147, okay? He got stripped of the title because he fought Manny Pacquiao instead of fighting his mandatory Saddam Ali, okay? Now, do I think it was a duck? No, it wasn't a duck. You know, in my opinion, Manny Pacquiao is a more difficult fight than Saddam Ali, okay? He's a bigger fight. It's a bigger money fight. It's a pay-per-view fight. Manny Pacquiao is still a superstar. And I still think he's the more difficult opponent at this point in Saddam Ali's career. I don't think he's even ready for a Manny Pacquiao yet. All right, so do I think it was a duck? No, of course not. All right, but I would have liked to see Saddam Ali fight Tim Bradley. Okay, I would have liked to see Tim Bradley fight Kell Brook. I would have liked to see Manny Pacquiao fight Amir Khan. I would have liked to see other fights at 147 because there's a lot of fighters at 147 now. You know, even if they didn't fight a PBC fighter, there's still a lot of fighters or a lot of fights that could be made that would have been just as big, or maybe not just as big, but I would have at least wanted to see it because it was different. You know, I would have liked the younger guy to get a shot at one of those two. So in my opinion, I would have liked other fights more. But I'm not disappointed with the fight. I'm still going to watch this fight. I'm probably going to order it because you guys been following me for a while. I usually order every Manny Pacquiao fight. I just do. When it came to Floyd, when it came to Manny Pacquiao, if I didn't go to somebody else's house to watch it, I would order it myself. I think the only Floyd fight I didn't order was Andre Berto fight. All right. Well, anyway. So as far as everything surrounding the fight, you have, as far as Tim Bradley, you have Teddy Atlas. Okay, he's not with Joel Diaz anymore, his longtime trainer. He's with Teddy Atlas now. He only had one fight. That one fight with Brandon Rios, his last fight. Okay, Tim Bradley won by knockout. A lot of people wasn't expecting that, including myself. Okay, I thought he was going to beat Rios, but I didn't think he would knock him out. I actually thought Rios was a dangerous opponent to fight because Bradley was not looking good in his previous fights. Okay, he had a draw with Diego Chavez, and he had a win against Jesse Vargas, but he almost got knocked out in the 12th round. Very controversial ending because the ref made a mistake in that fight. And he was going to fight Brandon Rios, who was coming off of a very impressive win against Mike Alvarado. And I know you guys are just saying, that's just Mike Alvarado. It is what it is. But still, Rios looked prepared. He looked hungry. He looked like he really wanted to win that fight. And he looked impressive winning that fight, stopping him very, very early in that fight. Okay? So I didn't know what to expect. But he was with Teddy Atlas. He looked good. Okay, I do believe in their new relationship. You know, I think that Teddy Atlas is good for Tim Bradley. Okay, I think he needed to move on for Joel Diaz. Obviously, the discipline wasn't there. I just don't think Joel Diaz had Tim Bradley anymore. Okay, mentally, he just didn't have him. Bradley was going into fights, not doing anything that he was being told to do in the corners. Okay, I don't know what they prepared for in these fights, but Tim Bradley was reckless in certain fights. He just didn't seem like the same guy, all right? And I think with Teddy Atlas is a guy that's tough, okay? He screams and yells at your face. He doesn't play any games. And he's one of those guys where he's like, he doesn't care about training. You know, if you don't want to train, you don't want to listen to me, he'll drop you in a second. It's not like John Pascal picking up Freddie Roach 5 weeks before camp. 5 weeks before the fight. You know, just randomly picking up Freddie Roach. You know, you're not going to win fights that way. You know, I think Teddy Atlas is good for Tim Bradley, and I think I think Manny Pacquiao is gonna fight the best Tim Bradley that he can fight in 2016. Okay, and this is why I can't predict the fight because I don't know what's going to change with Tim Bradley. I don't know what strategy they're gonna have in this fight. What I will say is that I think this third fight is going to be just as close, if not closer, than the first fight. Okay, I think it's going to be more competitive than the second fight was, and part of that is because of Manny Pacquiao. Let's speak on him now. Manny Pacquiao hasn't fought in a year. Okay, since he lost to Mayweather. He sustained a shoulder injury, and this video is not really about whether or not I think it's real because at the time when it came out, I didn't think it was real. I didn't believe in Manny Pacquiao and his injury, but I can't prove that it was fake. I'm not going to do that here, all right? So he's been out for a year. He lost a fight, and he had a shoulder injury, all right? Now, losing a fight, when I say losing a fight or coming off of a loss, I know everybody likes to say, oh, he's coming off a loss, so why fight him when he's coming off a loss? He lost to Floyd Mayweather, okay? He lost to Floyd Mayweather, all right? So it's not like it's a damaging loss. Pacquiao has lost before. He's been knocked out before. Floyd didn't do that, all right? So I don't think this was a damaging loss by any means. I think the most disadvantage of Manny Pacquiao is the fact that he hasn't fought in a year and he's getting up there in age. This might possibly be his last fight. All right, so he's fighting a fresher, more active Tim Bradley. Bradley that is more motivated now more so than ever. all right, in this fight. So I feel like Pacquiao has a number of disadvantages going into the fight. Now, as far as motivation, I never thought Pacquiao never struck me as a fighter that was not motivated in the fight. I know a lot of fighters said that leading up to the fight. I know that Tim Bradley said that in a rematch. Tim Bradley holds his whole thing leading up to the fight and the face-to-face that they had on HBO. Bradley was saying Pacquiao's not the same guy. He's not the same killer that he was. Yet Pacquiao beat him in a rematch, and he beat him clearly, in my opinion. All right, so I don't, I'm not really buying the whole lack of motivation thing. Like he's ready to retire because I think Pacquiao is going to train like he does in every other fight. All right, and he is getting up there, but I don't think it's about motivation. I think Pacquiao always want to win his fights, and I'm not going to throw that on the reasons why Pacquiao is in a disadvantage. Yes, he's inactive. Yes, he's coming off of a loss and everything, but I think Pacquiao is going to be motivated to win this fight. But I think overall, the fight is going to be close. It's going to be competitive. For Tim Bradley, this win would be huge to win 2 out of the 3 fights, even though, regardless of who you thought won the first fight, winning the last fight would be good for Tim Bradley and his career and his resume. I think he has an amazing resume. And, I think he's a future Hall of Famer regardless, okay? Tim Bradley has done his work at 140 and 147, and collecting this win would be huge for him, okay? And hopefully we can get a bigger fight, maybe with a Kell Brook, maybe with one of these PBC guys, all right? Maybe we can get a bigger fight in the future with Timothy Bradley. I always wanted to see the Floyd Mayweather fight with Tim Bradley, but we never got that fight. Maybe Floyd will come back out of retirement and fight Tim Bradley. I have no idea, okay? But it would be good for Tim Bradley to win. It would be good for Manny Pacquiao to win because this is his retirement fight. If he were to beat a fighter like Tim Bradley, he can at least end the whole debate on who won between those two or who were the best between these two. Because as far as I'm concerned, as far as recent memory, the guys at 147 with the best resumes is Floyd, Tim Bradley, and Manny Pacquiao. And you can add Marquez in there, historically, as far as all time and throughout their whole career, not just at 147, but those are the guys that had in recent years that has, had the best resumes, overall. And I think if, Pacquiao is to go out and beat Tim Bradley, at least in that debate, okay, well, we had Marquez. Well, it's hard to debate between those 4, but, I think it's really close. I think Floyd is obviously on top because he beat 2 of those 3 guys. And I think Pacquiao, who pretty much fought them all, he got knocked out by Marquez. He lost to Floyd. So, Tim Bradley would be good to go out and, at least retire with that. He's already a Hall of Famer. He's already one of the greatest all-time great. But Tim Bradley beating a Manny Pacquiao, regardless of what he does after his career, we can also possibly consider Tim Bradley as being an all-time great too if he were to win this fight, all right? So anyway, that's my thoughts on the fight. I don't know who's going to win this fight. I'm going to chill, relax, watch this one, and just chill. I'm not doing no prediction. I don't know who's going to win. And that's it. That's my thoughts on the fight. And make sure you guys hit subscribe.